Hey everybody, welcome back to Student Budgets. For those of you who are new, my name's Daniel. It's lovely to welcome you, and for those of you who are coming back, thanks so much for joining. So today I thought I am going to reflect on my budget to try and see if there's anything I can do in 2025 to improve my budget, make it more viable, make me more aware, because I feel like reflection is so important. It's something I am really bad, I'll be honest, at doing. I definitely don't do it enough, and I think sometimes that does lead you to be a bit like a deer with headlights. You're just going to go straight into it and you don't realise what's there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a piece of paper. I'm going to go through this budget and I'm going to write down a couple of things that I'm going to notice about my budget, or at least what I think. I'd also love to know what everyone else thinks about the way my budget is. I have already done the January budget, so I have already took a couple of reflections, but I'm interested to see what you guys think about it as well. So feel free to comment that down below. But anyways, let's get in with it. Okay, so let's reflect, and I'm going to start off with looking at October's budget. And because I feel like I can kind of get a good grasp on for university, because that's kind of more what I'm bothered about. And I'm going to look basically the things of what went well in the months that have happened between basically October and December, and the things that I can improve on. So first of all, what I can see looking at this is that we actually did quite well with no spends. November was okay with no spends. It could have been better. I probably can say I can't even find November. I sometimes end up doing this. Here we are. So as you can see, November had a lot more spends, but it was very much little and often. And I know there was a couple on this last week. I just have not filled it in. And then December is looking really promising so far with 4 no spends. I'm really happy about that. So I think the level at which we're doing no spends, I would argue it's probably around about 1 in every 3 days, 1 to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 out of 30. So yeah, 1 in 3 days. So I think actually what went well is certainly the no spends. And I think that is definitely a good goal to have, maybe 1 in 3. I think in January I'd love it to be maybe half the days. So I only spent on 15 days and I had 15 no spends. That I think might be the goal. Maybe even throughout December that might be an identical goal as well. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully that goes really well. Looking at this straight away, I can already see that there's a lot of little spends, and I'm going to ignore this first week because that was obviously my freshest week, so I'm just going to ignore that because I think that's fair. Something I am also noticing is how well we've kept with groceries, and I am really happy about that. In the new year, I am planning on just trying to do £20 a week, and trying to just make that work. A, by reducing food waste, B, by batch cooking more often because I need to get into that. I think one good thing about because obviously I'm filming this just before I go home, pretty much a couple of days before I go home, and I'm getting at the point where I'm lowering down what I've got in my freezer, so then I've got more room when I come back to batch cook. Things like curry, things like pesto pasta, I genuinely might do on the first week I get here, and that just prepares my meals for 2 weeks, and that works really, really well. I'm also just looking at this and also noticing that I think weekend wise we were spending quite a lot here. I'm gonna guess that must have had a spend on it, but I just haven't wrote it in, maybe, question mark. Who knows? But we are getting better with these spends, and I feel like potentially we need to maybe just make, because I feel like with these we can improve the no spend days by just cutting little things out like that and putting it on one day. That might be a better thing to do. But what I really want to have a look at is having a look at this page here. Now, this was a month that, again, I'm going to ignore this because that I haven't begun doing. I am going to begin doing it though. Yeah, as I said, I'm gonna begin. I want to begin doing it. I do apologize. I've just sneezed. Genuinely, I've been feeling like I need to sneeze for the past half an hour. And so yeah, I thought I was gonna sneeze again. I'm not. I'm fine. Don't know what it is. I feel like I've got a cold all of a sudden, but I don't think I do. But I hope I don't. But yeah, I am just having a little look at this, and this was for 4 weeks. So this now is going down to 80. Self spending is going to go down to £10 a week when I'm at uni and 15 when I'm at home, and I think that's a fair way to do it because at home there's more temptation and there's more things that I could buy, and I don't want to limit myself, especially if I want to see other friends. Um, Now that obviously these have all been given these quite large, like bigger sums, we pretty much are now either just doing like zeros, fives, and tens. 10, it will always go into self care, but everything else will pretty much either get five or nothing. Or obviously like between 4 and 5, like 1 and 5 potentially, depending on if I need it. So I think that's went really, really well. But obviously we are improving on that, and that's something that's not necessarily like it could be better, but more just we are getting better at it, and that's something I'm quite happy about. Um, and then I'm just having a look at this, and November was definitely a month where there was a lot more spending going on. There was a lot more unbudgeted spend. November was a massive unbudgeted spend month. But I think that's just because I didn't realize how much is going to happen in November. The university I'm at, I feel like a lot of that Christmas stuff is done in November and not in December. So therefore, all the spend that would be typically done in December, which probably now explains why we're very much looking at no spend day, no spend day, no spend day, no spend day. Don't think tomorrow, the day I'm filming this is the day after. Sorry, I'm filming this will be a no spend day, but the day after that probably might be. The day after that probably will be. The day after that probably won't be. It won't be. I can only tell you, but like that could be. That could be. All of this could be. Obviously, the 25th will obviously be, and also the 1st of January will obviously be a no spend. I mean, something that I'm going to try and challenge myself to do in January is more no spend days, and not necessarily hitting that target, but more just like not buying anything that's unnecessary. I know I'm probably not going to be buying anything from budgeting stores from a while, just because I've got so much, and obviously having the Secret Santa and Advents that I'll be opening really shortly, that I'll have more there. So I doubt I'm going to need much more. All I know I want to buy is the envelopes from Ira, the what do you call them, winter wishes. I know I really want them, so that's the only thing I might allow myself to buy. But bar that, that'll be it, and that'll be something I'll get probably at Christmas, like using a bit of Christmas money to treat myself with. But yeah, again, looking at November, we've definitely gotten better at approving. One thing I have actually begun doing, and this is something I'm really happy I've done, is stop budgeting blindly. I remember doing my first budget. I think I want to say it might have been my student budget and how I budget as a student. And I'm really glad I am going to do an updated version, I think, potentially at the end of January. Um, because I am now looking at how much the income is in terms of how much I'm getting off student finance, how much my rent is, and then how much have I got divided by 15, just to get us through both the 10 weeks I'm here, like for terms, and then the additional 5 weeks or so which you have for holidays. Um, and obviously when it gets to like holidays, I don't obviously need a budget for things like groceries. But a lot of the stuff still applies. Spending still applies, self-care still applies, you know, subscriptions don't end. Laundry does because I'll be at home, so I don't necessarily have to pay for that as such, but like other things do count. So that is something that I am getting quite grateful for, and you'll be able to see it. Is it in the December? It's not in December, it is in the January budget. Quick sneak peek for you all. You can begin to see I have begun to do that. So that's something that definitely can be improved, is to work out the income and be a little bit more involved, I suppose, if that's something I can say. I think this is something that I need to get better at, is doing weekly check-ins. Because I'm always been bad. Like I've actually improved on making sure I can track my spending. I say that as if I haven't like went like a full like 3 weeks without doing it. In December I've gotten better at it though, I must say. Like, but I think that's because I'm focused on the videos for the content, like just to get the what you call it, the vlogmas out. So I feel like I'm focusing on that. I do apologize. I think my nose has not stopped streaming now. It's really annoying this. But I need to get better at these, because as you can see, we did well for the first 2.5 weeks, and then we just stopped, and I need to get better at doing it. December, I actually haven't done it. But I don't think, yeah, I'm going to try and get better at it. That's something I'm going to definitely set as one of my planner goals and my budgeting goals, which are obviously not like budget / cash related, more just general book and keeping things in order related, and hopefully that'll improve things better. One thing I really want to get better at, and this is something I'm going to begin implementing, is creating a buffer budget. And what I mean by that is just keeping a little bit aside of just an extra fiver per month, for things that I don't necessarily think about or I don't realize are going to crop up. For example, if I know that a month's going to be busy or I know a lot of things may happen, instead of what I typically do, which can well, not I don't always do, but what I can do is just think, oh, I'll sort that when it comes. No, think about it at the beginning when I'm thinking about it, and then know it's there. And then if I need to, I can adjust the budget better. I need to begin doing that, and that's something that I'm beginning to do. As I say with January, I shouldn't be spending too much. I doubt I will need too much. And as I say with January as well, I'm going to try and do a very much no spend unless I must have to budget. Yes, so that's that. I think, however, one thing I definitely have got better at is, or at least I think this is what was expected and it was quite natural, is the fact I've got better at sorting out my budget and kind of figuring out how much roughly I'm going to need per week. And I think that's something I'm really happy about. And I'm really chuffed that I began to do that. It's really sad as well. I've had to like throw away all these shiny pens. I've just noticed just because they were damaged from one pen that exploded and it just got mixed in and it was not fun to try and sort through. So yeah, that is that. So let's conclude roughly with what I've said and then just make it a bit more clearer because I need to brain dump it and then I've got to clarify what I mean by that and then we will sort that out. Okay, so let's first of all look at what I think's going well. So I'll just call it well. So as I said, first of all, no spends. I think we do them quite well per month. And we're going to try and improve that from 1/3 of the days roughly to a half of the days. So that'll be 15 days roughly. Obviously in February, that'll just be 14 because it's a 28-day month. I think as well as that, we've gotten quite well at doing groceries correctly. Obviously, we are looking at reducing it down to 20, and I think £20 a week is quite reasonable and definitely doable. And as I say, I just need to be a bit more aware of doing batch cooking and being a bit more aware of when, for example, I'm going to have a busy week preparing for that. Let me just move these onto an angle so you can kind of see roughly what I'm writing as well. And the final thing I think we're doing really well at is, or at least happening through time, is just general uni and creating that uni budget and kind of getting it corrected. Because what I would love to do is by the time I get the summer is be able to really give some advice to people about what they need to think about, how much roughly you want per month. Obviously, I think the way I do, there are certain aspects of my budget if I necessarily need to, I didn't necessarily have to have that there, but I think it is important to have at least something for it. So for example, things like having money for your haircut, so it's not unbudgeted and then it's not you don't think, because you don't, I feel like it's really difficult to think about these sort of things. I don't think about haircuts until I need a haircut, and then it's like, well, I've got to find £15 which I haven't put in the budget. And while that doesn't seem like masses, once you do that more than once, it can become a bit of a habit. So then that's kind of the what went wells, or at least the top 3 things I feel like I'm doing quite well at. Again, as I've said, feel free to comment what you think I'm doing well at, and what maybe, or maybe is there something in the what I'm doing well that maybe you actually think, I think you could definitely do better at that. Because it's not necessarily criticism, it's more just like someone else's interpretation. I was doing this with one of my friends' budgets the other day because they were, I wouldn't say they were necessarily struggling with it, but like I feel like there was a lot of things in there that they just didn't think about. And then when I was asking them, like, oh, I didn't think about this, and we figured out realistically that they can knock their budget down by about, I think I worked out for them and it was about £25 a week. So that's like £100 a month in a 4-week month that I've knocked off their budget, which is massive amounts of money. And that was just from someone else looking at it. So definitely feel free to comment. I'd love to know. And in improvements, calculating income, I just think it's a case of me at times being quite lazy. Because I just don't want to figure it out, or sometimes I just don't want to face the figures, and that's, I think that's understandable at times. And that is just the money I have left for my student finance loan. So basically, I just put that to there, and then the cash down comes from something else, pretty much. So I don't really include it in this as such because that's separate, and I know exactly what that is. I need to definitely begin doing weekly check-ins more often. I don't think I'll film them. I just don't think they're that entertaining, unless I'm really low on content, then maybe I might. but like I think that's like something I need to just begin doing. I feel like I have actually kind of done them with the shorts, but I need to just do it more regularly and actually write it down and record it and not just think, right, I've I know I've just put it away and go cool, because I just feel like it does need a bit, I just need to look at it a bit more so I know actually what I'm spending and not just forgetting about and going, oh fab, I've got £3.50. You know, what have I spent that money on? Is anything I can improve and cut and it, or potentially bulk buy and it'll come in more useful. And last but not least, just adding a little bit into the buffer, just so I can kind of use that for when it comes to things I didn't expect in the month to crop up, or even in the week. So a week slash month to crop up. And obviously if I do spend that money, that's what it's there for. It's meant to be there. And if I don't spend that money, I can save it and put it aside. So that are roughly my best three things I think about my budget and my worst three things about my budget. So that is the end of today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I definitely don't think I said this at the beginning, but this should be going up on day number 7 for the It's Christmas slash Vlogmas, whatever you want to call it, series. Has not got a name at this point. Well done me. But yeah, I'm really happy I've kind of went through that. I feel like that's just like really helped clarify, and I think I have actually weirdly enough done January's budget before I've done this, but weirdly I didn't think about a lot of the things I've mentioned in wording and then just kind of implemented into January. And I feel like now that I've listed that, it's something that if I'm ever need a bit of like reflection on, I can just pop it there. Like I'm going to keep it in here so I know whereabouts it is and just keep it safe. And this will come home with me over Christmas, because I feel like if I don't bring it home with us, I may end up going off the rails a bit in spending. And I really would love to, as I say, prove that I can get halfway, or at least close to halfway. And I feel like if, for example, I had like 30 no spend days, I'd be really happy about that. But yeah, so that is the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed filming it. Feel free to like, comment as I've said, and feel free to subscribe as well if you are new, or if you are returning and you have not subscribed, please feel free to do so. I'd also just quickly say that this is the first video I'm filming after I've reached 150 subscribers. I just want to thank everyone so much for that. That happened, I think it was, I want to say on like the 5th of January, and it's the 8th I'm filming this on now. No, it might be the 6th, sorry. So this is obviously the first video I'm filming because I'm batch filming a lot, so just thank you very much for that. And as always, take care, know you matter. I look forward to seeing you in the next Vlogmas. Bye bye.